In the beginning, we went on the adventure of the Blossoming Attorney, in which Susato found the demise of Azashin, better known to us as Giselle Brett from the first game, and we figured out something was amiss. Then we revisited our memories with Sosuke, our author friend, in the Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro, finding something that Herlock Sholmes told us we couldn't talk about. Then we found The Great Departed Soul, in which we found out something of the truth of the professor killings, and that not only was he connected to Kazuma, but Kazuma is still very much alive. And we found out things just weren't quite right with the professor case. Then Twisted Karma and his last bow struck, killing Tobias Gregson and shedding more light on the professor case. There's a lot more going on with the professor case than we ever thought. It's at the heart of this case, and it's time for us to steal our resolve. Hello everyone! Welcome to the last chapter of Great Ace Attorney 2, Ryunosuke's Resolve. This is Vitafuser. You've heard my spiel. It's time to go. Oh, what a week this has been for it, huh? We have no real investigation. We just get up and go. We don't even have a narration by Herlock Sholmes. So, the time's finally come. That is actually fairly loud. Okay, let's do that. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susato. Miss Susato? She's still probably reeling from, the revelation that her father is actually this universe's version of Dr. Watson. Huh? Hey, what was that for? Oh no! What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing? I was just saying I'll be relying on your support today, but I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but I shan't let you down. Would you mind helping me to my feet, then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. Susato-san isn't her usual self at all. But that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father's the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Good morning, sir. There he is. Lord Van Zeeks. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you. But his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led all to this. You're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zieks. No, you're really not. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure it was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some kind of demigod, to wield the deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Bad deal. Very bad deal. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him, I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you, Lord Clint Van Zieks. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris! When did you get here? I've bought you some of my special blends. Hurley loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head. I thank you. Oh. She's a little young for you. That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Oh? Sort of subdued, I suppose. I'm not. What happened to yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen an autopsy report from Dr. Seed's laboratory. Alright then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. You're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes. Would you take this? Oh, it's a little bunny Sherlock Holmes. Yes, it's a lucky charm. Little Hurley I made once. A Hurley? It looks more like a Hairley to me. Call me Holly. Everybody does. Oh, wrong universe. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. Pull his ears? That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. Alright, we have our lucky charm. You think what we'll need is luck? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seemed very differently to normal. Yes, it would seem That a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come back home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Susato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently, they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They. Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Well, that's not good. That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. That's a full defense and a defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please you make your way inside the courtroom at once. Good luck then, Runo. Good luck, Susie. Thanks, Iris. And you too, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now. Lord Van Zeeks. Lord Van Zeeks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in the court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend Kazuma, whom I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, this one trial, to this one final reckoning. The Old Bailey. The judge's stand is empty. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. The cold stares piercing like knives all over the sides today. Mr. Naruhodo, look! Oh boy! Lord Stronghart! Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. Yes. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundation of our country's legal system. We escaped of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all over the world. Yes. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, male Stronghart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Yes. Yes, indeed. The 6 jurors' flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Stronghart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zeeks. Yes. You are a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother, Clint, in fact. Oh, wow. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session. for the trial of Baroque von Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord, as is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was assigned to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. Yeah, he was the one behind all of the mysterious murders. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. And in that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Yes. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Synerge. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson while investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Ryunosuke. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October. Halloween? The day before his body was discovered. I never caught that he was killed on Halloween. Yeesh. I have here an updated autopsy report. That includes the amended details. Well, at least it's not the usual Miles Edgeworth shenanigans like in the first game. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. At the time of death was 5 p.m. on the 1st of November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. Yes. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating the precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Yep, it's you, Gina. State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting, representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina, again. What's your problem, Odo? What's with that, Gina? Again? Look, eh? The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh? Inspector Gregson. He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes. No. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday have revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. Very troubling indeed. That face. Lord Stronghart knew. Knowing you, you probably sent him on that. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Coming right up, sir. Alrighty. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. While a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled good dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too. Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activities. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of investigations being leaked to the involved parties. Yes. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. Okay then. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. Now keep in mind that back in the day, gentleman's club didn't exactly mean, you know, modern gentleman's club. It was meant like place to play cards, smoke, opium, that kind of stuff. Very different from stuff today. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That can't be. We haven't heard anything about this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barak Van Zeeks, was present. Oh my. Well, that would be very significant testimony then. Yes. Oh my, but... Lord Van Zeeks has made no mention of this, at all. In short, Lord Van Zeeks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Yeesh. Very well then, counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. The victim's movements. Alright, yes, yes. Okay. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were to take place at a gentleman's club. Yeah, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name of these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I got this reading game buttoned up now. Can I show what I can do? Go on, what's the on? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. Time to insist. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. When is there not? The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking for those black market dealings. It's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail at the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Right then. I get to show off me reading skills. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. The Grouse? Ah, right. Oh, looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse. First class cabin, 001. The Grouse. They weren't going to a club, they were going to a ship. How strange. Where could it have gone? Did I imagine it? Or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? Well, well, well. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously? Is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening in a club called Grouse? The police are currently looking for evidence. But I haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean... Hang on. There we go. That the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st of October might not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Here. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. Yes. Oh. Ah. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grouse. Objection. So, there's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say that there's a flaw in your logic there. Oh, really? We'll have to figure out what that flaw is next time. See you guys then.